let's get back to book talk and continue with our Willa Cather fan club. Just look at her. Does she not look like one of the leading lights of American letters? And one of the things that I love about her is she knew it too. She knew the value of her art and her writing, and she was a savvy business person when it came to the rights and selling of her work. And she knew that she could write a book about 17th century Quebec and make it interesting, and the public would flock to it because it was so well done. So when I found out she had a short story collection, it's not always true that someone who is really good at writing novels is also good at writing short stories. But I was unsurprised to find out that Willa Cather's short stories, even her very first one she ever published, was a masterwork of craftsmanship. I've read, I think, half a dozen Willa Cather novels in the last year or two, thanks to my sister who did her thesis project on Willa Cather, and now we're reading her in our family book club pretty often. And she is just one of the best writers that this continent has ever produced. And her short stories are right up that vein. One of the things I really like about the short stories that I've read so far, I'm about halfway through the book, is that she often focuses on women who are artists at the top of their craft. And that's not a viewpoint that I've gotten to heard very much before. It's singers, it's painters, it's people who are doing the very, very best work in the world under the limelight and what that's like for them. Sometimes how hard it is, sometimes how much fun that is, but it's a really fascinating look at a woman who is the best of the best and what that's like for them. Something else that's interesting in these is some of the characters I think are meant to be read as queer or gay. She doesn't come out and say it because of the times, I think, but as someone who lived with a beloved roommate for her entire life, most of her life, it makes sense that you get to get this viewpoint of the queer life back in these times. And so if you like short stories, I can't recommend enough the collected stories of Willa Cather's. This version especially is, I think, all of the stories, and it's really well done. The only person I know whose short stories I enjoy as much are Gabriel Garcia Marquez and Flannery O'Connor. Those are the only two that come close to this kind of level of craftsmanship that I personally know. So this, for me, is one of the pinnacles of literature. You know, what Willa Cather does and how much she can do in these tiny short stories. So if you want to give yourself a treat, check out the collected stories of Willa Cather.